The car you see on the left is the mscienceuk.com BMW M8 GTE I ran in the previous season of the Apex Racing League GT Championship on iRacing. The livery was designed by me and it ran for 8 weeks over the course of the season on Apex Racing TV. The car on the right is the real live model version I ordered from Simmortal Racing Models. It's a massive 1/18 scale model I can hold in my hands and have on display. It cost me a touch over £200 in total, and it's turned out to be quite a highlight indeed. The season of Apex Racing League in which I used this car was a particularly fun one, and was the scene of my first race victory ever in that series. Over an 8-week campaign, myself and my teammate got quite attached to this thing, and came away from it having had so much fun over the course of a season with it. It was fast and it looked good, and whilst my teammate Dean won the amateur class, I got second in the overall championship. When you have a really good time with something, you tend to want a souvenir to commemorate it. There are loads of you, I'm sure, that just have a sentimental attachment to a car with a custom livery. Perhaps you got a team with your own branding or something like that. In a rare case of sim racing content transitioning well to the real world, you can get the mother of all commemorative tributes to a car you love by doing what I've done and having it made into a real model. So Simmortal then is an independent model painter that takes existing commercially available models of cars, strips them to their bare bones and individual parts, and then repaints it all to a likeness of your design. This particular model is based on the Mini-Champ's BMW M8, which in itself comes in at 80 quid. And the model cost is included in Simmortal's price, so that's almost half of the job cost in the base model alone. They're at the mercy of what stock is available for what cars. Some base models are more expensive than others, and some sizes may not exist at all, but the BMW luckily not only comes in the hefty 1/18 scale, but is also one of the cheaper ones. Taking my model as an example of this, if the cost of the model was £220 and £80 of that is the stock M8 GTE model itself, it's pretty reasonable considering the hours that surely go in. Add to that the purchase and procurement of any unusual colours of paint, and the design work to make the decal stickers at the correct scale, as well as postage of the model to your address. The price does seem to indicate a project of passion more than profit. Considering each job is pretty much entirely custom and individual one-offs, I wouldn't expect the machine-like precision of mass-produced die-cast models, but as you can see, there's absolutely no denying that this is the M-Science car. And if you see it on display, the resemblance is superb and it looks great. Custom independent work, however, is a sword that cuts both ways, and it takes a long time from initial order to fulfillment. Expect a wait of at least a couple of months as things stand, especially considering there's usually a queue for their work. In the end though, I'm really happy with the model that I've received. It's just so good to see the M-Science BMW with my actual eyes and hold it in my actual hands. It's great to just see it in the corner of my eye, and it's as good as I hoped it would be. I can imagine many of you that didn't know this was a thing will probably want your sim cars done too. Having contacted Simmortal and making them aware of this video being made, they have offered a discount code for you to use if you want your own, which will give you 10% off list prices. Just quote D Lee and they should know that I sent you. Be aware of not being asked to create this video however, and my model was 100% paid for by me. I initially heard about Simmortal by taking part in the WGTC Championship on iRacing, which Simmortal sponsored. I've left links to their pages in the description, so get in touch if you're keen. As for me, I'm off to play with a fairly expensive toy car. Carefully.